Greetings to everyone out there in the NoDQ galaxy. Welcome to the NoDQ live review of WWE Extreme Rules 2019 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Very interesting and newsworthy show. A lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and get right into the review. I'm starting early here. It's late. Let's just go ahead and get this review started. Long pay-per-view as the norm for WWE, but it is what it is. You have to accept the way things are. We had the Extreme Rules kickoff, and what made this show even longer was that going in, WWE had announced, I believe, 10 matches and then added 2 more matches on top of that at the very last minute. The first match was the Intercontinental Championship, which was added at the last minute, of course. Unfortunately, this match did not feel important to me because WWE did not announce it on SmackDown. They wait till the last minute, they throw it on the kickoff. Poor Intercontinental Championship, poor Finn Balor, poor Nakamura. Not a whole lot to say about this match. It was solid for a kickoff match, but nothing particularly memorable except for the fact that we have a brand new Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. What a lackluster title run for Finn Balor. I was thinking the fact that this happened on the kickoff, totally random, I felt like maybe, just maybe, Finn Balor would be turning heel, joining up with AJ Styles, Anderson, and Gallows. But I'll talk about that more in a few minutes here. Am I happy that Nakamura is the IC champion? I mean, if he's getting a renewed push, then yeah, that's great. But let's be real here. Are we really going to see Nakamura in a regular role as Intercontinental Champion? Like, I feel it's going to be the same as usual. He's not going to appear on television. He'll show up once a month and he'll just lose his matches and the title's still not going to mean anything. Unfortunately, it's about the man holding the title rather than the title making the man. I mean, that's really how it's been as of late in WWE. Mike with a $2 super chat, first one of the evening, says, oh boy, cannot wait until the end. Brock is king. Well, I will try to get through this review as quickly as possible because I know a lot of you watching live right now, it's late for you. I'm not used to doing these late night reviews. I'm used to being on the West Coast and doing this stuff at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Now I got to do 11 o'clock, midnight. And it's been a challenge. By the way, the NoDQ Super Chat Championship is on the line tonight. Right now, Devlin Husband is the current reigning and defending NoDQ Super Chat Champion. The title changed hands earlier today on Greg Cherry's live stream, which you guys can check out if you missed it. So Devlin is our current champion at the moment. We'll see how long it lasts. The second kickoff match was the Cruiserweight title. No surprise here. Unfortunately for Noah Foster, Cindy, and the rest of the 205 Live Matters crew, Cruiserweight match once again on the kickoff. I mean, it was a good match, but the Cruiserweight division just needs a shakeup. It's been the same core guys. Drew Gulak, who is the champion going in, Tony Nese. They've been there since the Cruiserweight division got started. Tozawa, the same core group of guys. We haven't really seen any new people coming in to shake up the Cruiserweight division. Match was fine. I mean, these guys always can put on good matches, but again, there's really no reason to care about 205 Live. You know, it's just guys going out there and having matches, and there's no real storyline development. The characters, these guys, as good as they are, they just lack charisma. And WWE doesn't really give these guys a significant position on the main roster. I mean, 205 Live is basically like NXT. It's a side project and nothing more. It used to be a focal point on Monday Night Raw. You used to have some star power like Austin Aries and Neville, but now you really don't have much. Again, I sound like a broken record. This was fine for a kickoff match, but yeah, Unfortunately, 205 Live does not matter, and they'll continue to go out there, put on some really solid matches, and I doubt very few people will end up caring, other than your core 205 Live fans. And obviously, there are some 205 Live fans and Cruiserweight fans, and if they were given more of a focal point and you had some new blood in there, some star power, some charisma, maybe people could start caring about the Cruiserweights again. But until then, doesn't feel like anything's going to change. So we had the main card. We kicked off the main card with the Graveyard Dogs, Roman Reigns and The Undertaker against Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. That's right, The Undertaker was in the opening match of a WWE pay-per-view. I think somebody mentioned Hell in a Cell 2009 or somewhere that far back was the last time The Undertaker opened a WWE pay-per-view event. By the way, Tony H with a $5 super chat. So congratulations to Tony H for being the new, reigning, and defending NoDQ super chat champion. He says, I am the super tat. I'm thinking of Tic Tat Tat, who is a user in the NoDQ chat. Tony H says, I am the Super Chat Tag Team Champions, and this show was kind of rough. A few bogus decisions tonight, and Brock Lesnar back on top, yawn. Well, the question is, did I think that this pay-per-view was better than AEW Fight for the Fallen? You guys will have to continue watching to get my thoughts at the end. Got to have a little bit of a hook for the end of the video. So we had this no-holds-barred match, Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre versus Undertaker and Roman Reigns. Let me do my complaining now and get it out of the way, because for the most part, I really enjoyed this show. One big issue I had was in this match and then the main event, the tags. You have an Extreme Rules match, you have a no-holds-barred match, and you have these guys doing tags, which makes no sense whatsoever, because if it's no DQ, then why are you doing tags? What's going to happen if you get in the ring? Is the referee going to DQ you? No, because there's no DQ. So why are they abiding to rules when they don't have to? Doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It bugs me. It annoys me. And other than that, I really enjoyed the stuff in this match. And then, well, not so much in the main event, but this match I thought was really solid. And I will give Undertaker credit where credit is due. The Super Showdown match was a bit of a stinker. But I felt like watching this, Undertaker had something to prove. He wanted to redeem himself from that Super Showdown debacle. So I did enjoy it. Kayfabe Candy Ass thinks it was a smoke and mirrors match. But you know what? Undertaker looked good regardless of whether it was smoke and mirrors. Undertaker did his big spots. The crowd chanted, "You still got it" at him. And I had fun with this match. I thought it was good. Undertaker looked good. And shame on me for predicting Shane and Drew McIntyre to win. I thought WWE was going to do something ridiculous and have Shane pin Undertaker. But you actually had Undertaker prevail here. And Shane did do some of his big spots. He did the flying elbow drop onto Undertaker through the announce table. Then he did the coast to coast to Undertaker with a trash can. But just when it looked like Undertaker was down and out for the count, Undertaker sat up. He choke slammed both Shane McMahon and Elias, who had interfered in the match. So it was basically 3-on-2. You know, these guys were abiding by the tag rule, yet you had outside interference, whatever. Roman Reigns saved The Undertaker from a Claymore, and then Undertaker pinned Shane McMahon with the Tombstone Piledriver. See, I would have liked to have seen Drew McIntyre pin The Undertaker. Undertaker was about to finish off Shane, and then you had this really interesting camera angle where Drew McIntyre was creeping up behind Undertaker. You could have just had the Claymore, 1, 2, 3, Drew McIntyre pins Undertaker. But no, Roman Reigns has to make the save. Undertaker gets the win, which is fine. Undertaker redeems himself from Super Showdown. And Michael Cole was teasing that this might be the last match for The Undertaker. We'll see. I feel like Undertaker is going to be around for at least another year. I think somebody brought up, maybe it was Michael Cole, somebody brought up that Undertaker is going to be entering his 30th year in WWE. So that really makes sense for Undertaker to wrap up his career on the 30-year anniversary. Maybe Survivor Series 2020 is his final show. The Foundation says WWE is trying to get Reigns a pop. Yeah, for sure. And doing this whole Graveyard Dogs thing. They're selling t-shirts now for these guys. So yeah, I mean, I really wasn't expecting them to lose, but I was doing the little bold prediction, hoping to get my points up in the No DQ Predictions League. It did not happen, and I'm not even sure who won. Maybe somebody from Team No DQ can let me know who won our Predictions League tonight. Who's the new No DQ Predictions champion? I'm not sure if Noah's in the chat room right now, but maybe somebody else can get that info for me. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. Good stuff here. No real complaints about it other than what I said already about the tags in these Extreme Rules match. So here's my opinion, and then I'll move on to more positive stuff. If you're going to book a tag team match with no DQ, it needs to be Tornado Rules. Otherwise, don't book a tag team no DQ match. Simple as that, to quote Noah Foster. It doesn't make any sense when you have a match under no DQ rules and you're still doing tag rules. Like, how do you even enforce that when there's no DQ? So just don't do it. It's a real easy fix. Do not book a no DQ tag team match unless it's going to be tornado style. Problem solved. Graham Dolph with a $2 super chat but no comment. Thank you for the super chat, Graham. I really do appreciate it. And remember, guys, a $5 super chat donation will make you the brand new No DQ super chat champion, who is currently Tony H. We'll see how long Tony H can hold on to the championship. And I will be giving a special shout out to somebody who maybe ends the night as super chat champion or has the most reigns. So you also get that, and you can also get a free plug as well, which I will plug on my Facebook and Twitter pages. Moving on here, we had the Raw Tag Team titles. We had the Revival versus the Usos. Pretty solid match. I mean, not great or anything. It was fine. WWE hyped up a Raw reunion special, not tomorrow night's show, but a week from tomorrow, July 22nd. Apparently Hogan will be there, maybe Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, a bunch of the legends. So I guess this is WWE's way of trying to get the ratings up, bring back the legends, of course, but we'll talk about that later. Colin Andrew with a $10 super chat. So congratulations to Colin for being the new No DQ super chat champion of the No DQ Galaxy. And he says, I agree with you, Aaron, on the tornado tag rules. Keep up the good work. Hashtag No DQ NXT. Thank you very much for that, Colin. Much appreciated. So this was a good match. I mean, not great or anything. Revival and Usos, they got a good amount of time. I like Scott Dawson channeling Eddie Guerrero, where he was bending the rules and then pretending to be knocked out cold. Little bit of Eddie Guerrero there. Pretty standard tag team match. Revival were trying to win by getting Usos counted out, and then Usos got the hot tag, but the referee didn't see it. Pretty standard stuff, but good match. Revival retained the titles with the Shatter Machine. So there you go. Revival actually holding on to the tag team titles. No hot potatoing. Good stuff here. No real significant issues with this. And Power Packers 90 with a $5 super chat. So now Power Packers 90, the brand new No DQ super chat champion of the world. He says, everyone in my hotel room is pissed. How to compete with AEW? Giving Brock the title to hold off television and blurring everything again. This company is dead. Well, I will get to that in a little bit, Power Packers 90. don't you fret, I will discuss Brock Lesnar. That is still to come here. We had actually, before I get to the SmackDown Women's title, we had Aleister Black versus Cesaro. This was a really solid match. I mean, I had pretty high expectations going into this, and it was a really good match. I thought Cesaro really stood out in this match, as he always does, but Aleister Black with the black mask picked up the victory, and the crowd oohed and awed when he did the black mask. So it looks like WWE's got some momentum here with Aleister Black. People like his finisher. Looks really good. Cesaro looked good in this match, even in defeat. Thumbs up. I enjoyed this. Very solid performance by both guys. And Cesaro even mocking Black's sit-down taunt. Cesaro did great in this match. Really enjoyed it. Good stuff here. Good showing by both guys. And I'm glad Aleister is finally back to doing what he does best and no more of the Raven-like promos from him. And real quick, guys, I would like to remind you that if you're watching this, you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. Click that subscribe button and make sure you click that notification bell so you can get the latest video updates and also the latest news updates if you want to know what's going on before everyone else. So make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell. Next up, we had the SmackDown Women's Championship. We had Bayley defending against Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Before the match, R-Truth made a cameo looking for Hornswoggle, a.k.a. Drake Maverick, and then we had the Street Profits making fun of Nikki Cross and Alexa. To me, this was the first miss of the show. I didn't really like how this match went down because Bayley basically beat both of them, clean as a sheet. If Bayley was going to retain the title here, I would have at least liked to have seen some dissension between Alexa and Nikki. Maybe a miscommunication where Nikki accidentally costs Alexa the match or vice versa. Something like that where Bayley wins, but she won because the other two screwed up. Instead, Bayley just beat both of them, and I thought it made both of them look really weak. Bayley got the submission. Actually, she did not get the submission. She got a submission on both of them, which was actually a pretty cool spot in the match. But everything else I thought was pretty forgettable. Bayley won with the flying elbow. No Sasha Banks return. You know, if you weren't going to have Sasha return or have new co-champions, which I actually thought would have been an interesting storyline, then I would have at least liked to have seen some kind of dissension to lead to Bayley retaining. As it is, I think both Nikki and Bayley looked very weak here. 13 Dab Official with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that. And now 13 Dab Official is the new NoDQ super chat champion of the world. The new champion is the Great Khali. Well, there you go. With the NoDQ Super Chat Championship, you can make anybody the champion. So the Great Khali, if you're watching this right now, you are the new NoDQ Super Chat Champion. Congratulations. But just like that, that championship run is over. Luis Ortiz with a $5 Super Chat says, "Hi Aaron, I was at Extreme Rules. It was a good show." I agree with you, Luis. I definitely thought it was a good show. There were a few missteps, and I think that the SmackDown Women's Tag Match was one of those, not tag match, the Women's Championship match was one of the few missteps of the night. Quite frankly, Iconics being nowhere to be found, I think, is also a misstep in itself. But that's the problem with too many championships. Like, I would not have wanted a SmackDown Women's Tag Team title match on this show just because there were too many matches on the show as it is. And really, that's my only other complaint about this show. It was too long. Like, these WWE pay-per-views, they should be no longer than 3 hours tops. 7-8 matches, 3 hours, the cream of the crop, and that's it. Stretching it out longer, yeah, you're getting other people on the card, but it's just too long to sit through. And this show is a perfect example. I know I sound like a broken record here, but every show, it goes on too long. The crowd gets burned out. They die by the end. And the show really peaked in the middle. And we're getting to the middle now, so I will go ahead and talk about the middle matches where the show really peaked. But by the end, the crowd was burned out and they died. The momentum just felt flat at the end. And that's the problem when you make these shows too long. 3 hours tops, 7-8 matches. That would be ideal in my opinion. Don't think it's going to happen though, unfortunately. And by the way, Jeff Meacham. That's right, Jeff Meacham came in with a $9.99 super chat donation. Says 1201 is coming, TikTok brother. Well, thank you for that, Jeff. So Jeff Meacham defeats the Great Khali to win the NoDQ Super Chat Championship. And I believe that this is Jeff Meacham's very first Super Chat reign. Actually, he beat, I stand corrected here, he beat Luis Ortiz to win the NoDQ Super Chat Championship. So congratulations. Who's going to beat good old JM Jeff Meacham for the NoDQ Super Chat Championship? We'll find out very shortly, I'm guessing, because I'm sure somebody out there wants to beat good old JM to win the championship. And just like that, Darren Frazier with a $5 Super Chat becomes the new NoDQ Super Chat champion. Says, super kick to Jeff Meacham and your new 14-time champion. 14 times. By the way, I watched this show on the way back home. It was good. Well, thank you very much for that. And sorry, Jeff. It was nice of you to make that Super Chat donation. But just like that just goes to show how quickly things can end. You can realize the boyhood dream, and then just like that, it gets taken away. All right, so let's talk about what may have been my favorite match of the evening, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. This was great. This was what pro wrestling should be. Two monsters, Godzilla and King Kong, doing battle, beating the crap out of each other. Last man standing match, just a great brawl. They went into the stands, they went into the concession area. Strowman threw Lashley into the t-shirt rack. They fought back at ringside. Then they started fighting in the stands. And I noticed to the side there was this little staging area, this little scaffold. And I'm like, well, looks like we got an interesting finish here. And sure enough, Strowman on top of the stands did the power slam through the staging area, the little setup they had, little scaffold. Power slam Lashley through that scaffold, and then I was wondering, oh no, they're gonna do the 10 count and neither guy's gonna answer it. But then, like at 8 or 9, all of a sudden we had Strowman smash through the scaffold to emerge victorious, and I thought this was great. Great finish. Strowman looked strong again, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This was Bobby Lashley's best WWE match since returning, and maybe the best match of his career. Like, I'm trying to think back. Maybe that match with John Cena at the end of his run, or that 5-man match he was in, I think a month before. But this was right up there among Bobby Lashley's best WWE career matches. One of the best matches of his career, period. I mean, he had a couple good ones in Impact, but this was great. This was the best Lashley has looked in a long time. Yeah, that Umaga versus Lashley steel cage match was good too, where I think Lashley slammed Umaga through the cage. That was really cool also. So yeah, I really enjoyed this match a lot. The crowd even did an ECW chant during this match, and this was the closest thing to an extreme match on this Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So 2 thumbs up for this one. I definitely recommend checking out this match if you missed the pay-per-view. Supernatural 28 with a $5 super chat. So congratulations, Supernatural 28, your brand new NoDQ super chat champion of the world. He says, good show, Braun and Lashley, best match of the night. Lashley should have won. Stunner to the last champ to become the new NoDQ champion. So a Stone Cold Stunner to Darren Frazier to end his title run. Moving on here, we had another really solid match on this show, the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan defending against Xavier Woods and Big E and Heavy Machinery. Triple threat match. Again, the triple threat match, no DQ. They're doing tags again. Ugh. I mean, yeah, this is my big complaint with these tag matches under no DQ rules. They should all be tornado. But again, I'm a broken record here with this. Heavy Machinery, I really enjoyed this match. It was really solid work from all three teams, and everybody looked good. Heavy Machinery came close a couple of times to winning the titles. They had a very solid outing. Bryan looked good in this match. He put the label lock on Big E and was twisting him and trying to keep him in the center of the ring. Big E eventually escaped, and then New Day hit the midnight hour to Bryan, and there you go. New Day, brand new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. New Day holding all the championships. They can now put all their tips together, as Big E said on SmackDown. Really good stuff here. I'm just accepting the reality that New Day will never break up. They're probably going to be a tag team forever. Obviously there's no such thing as forever, but you know what I mean. I feel like these guys will probably retire as a team. 13 Dab Official with a $5 super chat. So congratulations to 13 Dab Official once again becoming the NoDQ super chat champion. Says, all the members of the Spirit Squad are the new champions. Also, I am sick of Kofi, in my opinion, the worst WWE champion ever. Ouch. Well, I would say he's better than Jinder Mahal. I mean, I'll give him that at least. So Spirit Squad and Dolph Ziggler gets to be Super Chat champion. So there you go. And let's not forget about Kenny. Kenny also the champ. Spirit Squad, all members, currently the NoDQ Super Chat champion. Who is going to dethrone the Spirit Squad? All right, next up here we had the United States Championship match. The phenomenal AJ Styles challenging Ricochet. Before the match, Paul Heyman came out for his promo, said it's Extreme Rules in Philadelphia, and he wants to stay there to see history be made in the city of Philly. And he said this is going to be the big moment where Brock Lesnar cashes in Money in the Bank. However, Heyman said, am I telling the truth or am I Paul Heyman? So Heyman, of course, making people wonder, would Brock actually show up and cash in Money in the Bank? So we had Anderson and Gallows attack Ricochet before the bell even rang. Ricochet made his comeback, took out Anderson and Gallows, but in the end, the odds were stacked against him and he could not overcome those odds. Ricochet had a really cool shooting star press, but Anderson pointed out to the referee that Styles had his foot under the ropes, and then Gallows interfered, which led to Styles hitting the top rope Styles Clash to capture the United States Championship. Very good match here between these two. Unfortunately, the crowd was starting to die by this point. Again, why I argue these pay-per-views need to be shorter. Crowd was getting burned out, and they were starting to get tired from this match and get tired from the show in general. But the match was really solid. Great work from these guys, and I feel bad that the crowd wasn't more into it. The other thing I would have liked to have seen here, like, I get it. It's 3 against 1, so in the end, the odds are going to work against Ricochet. But there's a problem here with WWE hot potatoing the title. Like the U.S. title, it keeps going back and forth. I'm losing track who the champion is now, and to me, that's a problem. I would have liked to have seen Finn Balor come out. He lost the title, the Intercontinental title, clean to Nakamura on the kickoff. I would have liked to have seen the 3-on-1 and maybe see Ricochet start to fight back, be on the verge of perhaps overcoming the odds 3-on-1, but we're not really 100% sure. Finn Balor comes out. It looks like he's going to make the save, but then Finn Balor swerve, turns against Ricochet, and helps AJ win the title. I would have liked that better, but still, this does make sense. 3-on-1, the odds are going to be stacked against Ricochet. I just wish the title wasn't being hot potatoed so much. Noah Foster with a $2 super chat says, not a bad show. Good night, y'all. Thank you, Noah. And I forgot, who is the No DQ predictions champion? I forgot. I'm not sure if Noah's still here or not, but maybe somebody in the chat room who's part of Team No DQ can let me know. Maybe somebody said something and I just missed the comment. All right, so next up we had Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. This was one of the bonus matches. And they really didn't do much of anything here. It was basically a squash. Actually, I would say it was a squash. Basically what happened here, Dolph Ziggler slapped Kevin Owens. Owens responded with a Kevin Owens stunner. And that was it. Literally like 15 seconds. And I guess Kevin Owens is stunning Dolph Ziggler back to the improv comedy. I mean, otherwise I don't understand the point of this. If this was meant to maybe keep Ziggler around, then I totally don't understand the point of it. But if it was done to write out Ziggler from the storylines, then I guess this was fine. After the match, we had Kevin Owens cut a promo, talked about how coming into the show, he was expecting to be fired or suspended. However, Undertaker took care of things, and therefore he didn't have to worry about getting involved in Shane's match. Owens then said that Shane can kiss his ass and go straight to hell. I mean, this was really unnecessary. This match did not need to happen, but whatever. Then we had the WWE Championship match, which to me was really boring, very predictable. Kofi Kingston defending against Samoa Joe. The Kofi Kingston title reign has just been so flat. Despite the fact that Kofi's been booked really well as champion, he just doesn't feel like WWE champion. He still feels like a mid-carder holding the WWE title. And poor Samoa Joe, again, he's the guy that comes really close, but then falls short. And he just doesn't have any credibility at this point. I even put up a t-shirt. I said on Twitter, if Samoa Joe won the title, I would give away a free No DQ shirt. That's how confident I was that Joe was not winning the title. I feel like betting against Joe is the best option with the No DQ Predictions League. Just never bet on Samoa Joe because he always falls short in the big matches. He gets the opportunities, but he never wins the big one. And this was no different. Kofi Kingston won with the tip, the Trouble in Paradise, and New Day, they get to come out on SmackDown with their pancakes and all their championships, and the New Day goes on. Samoa Joe becomes Samoa Schmo, according to JSpin401. I like it. I like it a lot. By the way, real quick here, shout out to 13Dab Official, or should I say Spirit Squad. Spirit Squad still the No DQ Super Chat champion. And I guess that's good for Dolph Ziggler because that's the only championship he's getting for a while. And yeah, this was the point where the show was really falling flat. Crowd was not into this match, and I really did not care about it just because I knew Joe was not winning, and I feel like Kofi's very flat as champion. Darren Frazier with a $5 super chat. So Darren defeats... What the heck? Got a bug on me. Darren Frazier defeats the Spirit Squad to become the new No DQ Super Chat champion. And Darren says, Joe is starting to feel like Ziggler, and Kofi, as good as he is, needs better challenges like Randy Orton. Plus, he should be a solo star. Well, those are some very valid points, Darren. And unfortunately, Kofi went through Randy Orton too during that gauntlet. I mean, Kofi's pretty much been through everybody. But I don't know who else he goes against. Maybe Aleister Black. Maybe you put somebody who hasn't been in the ring with Kofi yet. You could get somebody over by beating Kofi, perhaps. We'll see. So then we had the winners take all match. Again, same thing as with Samoa Joe and Kofi Kingston. I was never convinced that Baron Corbin and Lacey had any chance of winning this match, so therefore I wasn't very invested in the match. Same thing earlier with the tags being made in the Extreme Rules match. It was fairly predictable. They did the kendo sticks, they did the chair shots, they did the table bumps, which, they already did a table bump with Shane McMahon doing the flying elbow, and, this was a little bit of overkill. Not a whole lot to say about it. A lot of stereo moves, Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans doing double choke slams. Becky would do the leg drop through a table to Lacey Evans, and then Seth would do the frog splash through a table. And then we had Corbin breaking the rules, being a bad boy, hitting the end of days on Becky Lynch. Seth Rollins just completely snapped, hit 3 curb stomps on Baron Corbin to pick up the victory. And then after the match, Brock Lesnar shows up. Brock Lesnar comes in, takes Seth Rollins to Suplex City. The bell rings. Lesnar officially cashes in Money in the Bank, defeats Seth Rollins with an F5 to win the Universal title, and we're right back where we were before. Brock Lesnar, the part-timer, once again, your WWE Universal Champion. And there you go. Some people happy about it, some people not. Seth Rollins, I feel, cooled off a lot. What are we going to have now? Are we going to have Lesnar versus Rollins again? Are we going to have Brock versus Roman again? Will WWE actually do something different? Will maybe Strowman finally beat Lesnar to win the title? I don't know. Are we going to get something fresh, or is it going to be the same old crap? Paul Heyman comes out. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I am the advocate for the reigning and defending WWE Universal Champion. Same old crap for another 6 months. Your guys' guess is as good as mine. But noteworthy ending to the show. 13 Dab Official with a $5 super chat. 13 Dab Official says, Dennis Rodman is the new NoDQ super chat champion. So the Worm wins the NoDQ super chat championship and says, also Corbin should take the belt off of Kofi. Oh, please don't say that. Please, anything but that. I hope the Baron Corbin push is done now. I'm just sorry, Greg Cherry, but it's been really flat. And the Game of Sin 100 with a $5.63 super chat donation says, who is sick and tired of Lesnar as Universal Champion? It dashed my hopes of cashing on Kofi. This sucks, and I think Lesnar keeps the title until WrestleMania. Oh, please don't say that. I hope they have something fresh for Brock Lesnar, but I don't know about that. I really don't. I thought Lesnar was going to cash in on Kofi and go to SmackDown and be part of the Fox launch. At least that would have been somewhat fresh, but yeah, I mean, who do you put Lesnar against now that is fresh? I mean, they're just going to go to the same thing we've already seen. So that was Extreme Rules. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good show. I mean, one of the best WWE pay-per-views of the year. Not as good as NXT, not as good as Double or Nothing, but I would definitely say this pay-per-view was better than Fight for the Fallen. It was too long. Definitely too long, but the middle of the show I thought was really solid. And again, if WWE just made it a 3-hour show with your best matches, it would be a great pay-per-view. So I am going to give this show a solid B. Very solid pay-per-view. entertaining, but it did fall a little bit short from being an all-time great WWE pay-per-view. Really good though, really good. And you know, I'm feeling like it's almost a B plus, but I'm gonna go with a B, just because there were a few things that bugged me and it was just too long. D Ross 2 with an A minus, Dustin with a B, James Allen with a B minus but too long, Greedy Bastard with a B plus, Carrie with a B, Harley with a B plus, Calvin Bowman with an A, Mike B with a B plus. Mike B has been quiet tonight with the super chats. He used to be the man, but I guess everybody eventually runs out of cash. But nonetheless, very grateful of Mike B's contributions to the channel. Nelson with a B, CC Drink with an A minus, Virtue says A minus, and Kayfabe Candy Ass with a B minus. Matt Helms with a B. Tony H with the $2 super chat says, if built right, give us Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman at SummerSlam. I mean, it's probably too late. I mean, maybe not, but you know, the trigger should have been pulled on Strowman a while ago, but yeah, they could still do that. Maybe finally have him over. Caitlin wants to know, where is Hank Schrader on the shitter? I want to know that too. Where are you, Hank Schrader, on the shitter? I got to know. Darren Frazier with a $5 super chat. So looks like Darren may be the final super chat champion of the evening here. He says 16 times. Woo! He says, I finally made it, and now my final goal to break Ric Flair and John Cena's record, and I give this show a B. Darren Frazier gives it a B, and I agree. I agree on a B. Good show by WWE overall. I said my piece. Better than Fight for the Fallen. So sorry, AEW fans, but WWE gets the victory this weekend over AEW. And that might upset some people, but too bad. And Virtue's like, haha, deal with it. Pretty much. All right, so that's all I got for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. And looks like Darren's going to end the night as champion. So thank you very much for that, Darren. Again, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell to get updates, not just video updates, but also news updates. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors. And I will be back tomorrow night to discuss Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys. Take care.